Thanks for joining us again on the Bearcat Sports Network. It's time to catch up with McKendree football coach Mike Babcock. And Coach, the practices are winding down and just one left before the spring game coming this Saturday over at Leemon Field. Coach, you guys have gotten close to your number of practices that you wanted to get in. Talk about what spring ball has meant to the Bearcats this year.
It's a way for us to get better. That's why you have it. That's why teams, get into spring ball. And so we've been, busting our tail this entire off season. So it's fun to kind of put on the pads, see where we're at, see how the freshmen are doing. How are those guys that ended up either playing as freshmen or redshirting as freshmen? What are they going to do, and how are they going to help our team, come fall? So it's definitely a great way to get better, to continue to work on the details, and then also to see what kind of team you have.
Obviously, there's battles for positions. Don't want to get into details necessarily, but how have you seen those battles shape up?
Great. I think we've had a great spring ball. Guys have really been competing at every position, and there's a lot of competition, for reps, for plays. And I'm not just talking with the ones. I'm talking the twos, the threes. There's a lot of guys that are trying to vie for spots, and everyone's working their tail off, and so it's a lot of fun to see that competition. That hard work, the discipline, that's what's really been fun about this spring. So a lot of positions, still open, but yet guys are playing pretty well.
And on the flip side to that, I know the last time we talked about building depth for 2017. Obviously, you're going to have a great group of freshmen coming in the summer, but right now, do you feel like you've built that depth?
I think so. We've got a lot of guys, seniors, coming back defensively. They've done a nice job this spring, but then also I've got a lot of guys that have played ball on offense, maybe not necessarily seniors, but a lot of guys that have had a lot of reps. And so, I feel very, very confident, in our one's ability to be able to play. We just need to create depth. Everyone knows that once you get into the middle of the season and late in the season, injuries start happening, and it's really those guys that are the twos and the threes that have to step up and be ones all of a sudden. How many reps have they had? And I'm a big rep guy, so those guys have gotten a lot of reps over the last 3.5 weeks, and so with about 2 practices left and a big spring game, hopefully finish it out on a good note.
You talk about those reps that really came into play last year. I know, especially at the quarterback position, you had several guys get banged up. Reese Metcalf came in at the end of the season, did a great job, and that has only helped springboard him into a competition this spring and going into the season. But the reps seem to be important more so last year and going into this year.
Absolutely. Last year, at this time it was, the quarterbacks are live and we need to see who can play and have game tempo. When we were starting a new quarterback, now all of a sudden, having played 4 different quarterbacks last season, it's like, okay, now they've all gotten game reps. And so, but those guys, with also the guys coming back is the details of the positions, and so Reese and Brendan Fred have done a very nice job at the quarterback position, kind of continuing to compete against each other, but more importantly, to be able to run the offense. And that's really what it is. Not just be the guy at that position, but to be the guy for the entire offense. And I think both of those guys know that it really isn't all about them. Both of them are very, very humble. They would love it, if the other guy got it, as long as we, win 9, 10, 11 games, they'd be just as excited as if they were the starter. So that's what's fun to see. The guys are doing well, and so hopefully kind of just keep it going.
Spring practice culminates with the annual spring game. The 2017 version takes place Saturday, April 22nd at 4 p.m. at Leemon Field. It starts with a day of barbecuing if the weather permits. We're going to have barbecue competitions, hopefully some good food, some good football at Leemon Field. Coach, what do you want your team to take away from the spring game?
Every practice I want them to get better, and I want our twos, our threes, even our ones. I want the whole team just to feel like, we've gotten through 15 practices. We are better off at the end of it than before. We're still healthy. We're not losing any of our big time guys or whatever at the end of spring. And can we finish this chapter of the off season, be able to move into summer on a very, very high note? And that's the biggest thing that I want to get out of this Saturday.
Coach, we're looking forward to Saturday. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Don't forget, you can keep up with McKendree football as well as the other athletic programs at McKendree at www.mckbearcats.com.